All right, big brother advice. So always be willing to walk away. Now, why do I say this? Now, I have been in quite a few relationships personally, and I help my students all the time through current new relationships because they normally came to me to try to get their ex back. Didn't work out, and they're like, yo, I love what you say. I love your advice. I want to stick around and apply this shit to a new relationship. So I do help some of my students do that. Always be willing to walk away. So the reason why you have to always have that frame about you is because women will test you. They always do. See, the thing is, some girls out there, they don't want to be, most girls out there, they don't want to be submissive. They want to be, they think they're the leaders. They think that they can be, just like you. Men out there, men trying to make something of themselves, the non-losers of this world, right? Because let me say this. There are winners and there are losers. And there's a whole lot more losers out there than there are winners, all right? Women want to be with those winners, right? That's why I always talk about leveling up in all my videos. Always be leveling up, working on you. See, men, you guys get up every single day and you grind out your day. You go to work, you bring home the food, you pay for all the shit. And you don't want to come home to a disrespectful woman, okay? So I've gotten questions like this in the past. I just never really made videos about it directly. But if you're dealing with a disrespectful wife, somebody who's been with you for a long time, right? Or girlfriend, or even a new fling, a new thing. See, you can't let disrespect happen. The second you let it go once, they are gonna do it again every single time, because what do women always do? They test your strength. They test you to see what you're fucking made out of. And the world already does that to you. The world is a fucking cold place, especially for men. See, we're getting up every day trying to do something. The winners, okay? And let me tell you something about men, guys who know, most of the winners probably ain't gonna see this video anyway. For anybody who wants to become better and become a winner, those men want submissive women who want to follow, women who want to cook and clean and do all those things. Men want those kinds of women to come home to. They don't want to go out there in the world and do their thing and battle to bring value to the marketplace. Sometimes it's a dirty place, and men want to come home, and they want to come home to a woman who's going to take away all that stress. All right. That is what we're looking for. A lot of guys get confused because they're like, well, my girlfriend treated me like this. Why is she treating me like that? Mostly because either A, you are not on your grind. You're not doing everything that you should be doing. Or you let a lot of disrespect already happen in small doses. But because you care about sex, because you care about, that companionship, you let it go. So that means that most of the people who are, asking these questions, how do I get my ex back, stuff like that, really what you are is you care more about companionship, you care more about sex, you care more about feeling loved than you have self-love, right? You'd rather deal with disrespect so you can get a little piece of the pink thing, okay? Look, at the end of the day, it's never worth it to deal with disrespect from a woman. Disrespect from anyone, but sometimes the disrespect happens depending on what kind of job you have. Maybe your boss is a fucking asshole, right? So us guys just got to deal with it because we got to put the fucking money. We got to put the money in the bank and food on the table, okay? Pay the rent, pay the heat. So never deal with a disrespectful woman. It's never worth it. It is never worth it because, and it always comes back to sex. It always comes back to that. Right? Because, you have a steady supply of it. It's always there. Maybe I'll get some instead of none. See, here's the thing. If you find a woman who's about you, who likes you, who actually is down for you and likes what you're about, you'll get laid way more often than with a girl who's kind of into you because she likes having a bit of security, because she likes your money. She doesn't really like you. See, genuine burning desire. Rich Cooper has a chapter in his book about genuine burning desire. The book is called Unplugged Alpha. Most of you guys probably already know who he is. His channel is much bigger than mine. But go check that book out. Genuine burning desire is what a woman will be like when she is into you. See, when a woman's disrespectful, she ain't into you. She's putting up barriers, right? She might be into the idea of you, you know. She might have been into you before, but if you let some little bits of disrespect go, you know, she ends up losing respect for you, so hence disrespectful behavior. So what do, right? What do? How do you change this mentality? Well, understand that awareness is everything. So watching this video will help you, obviously. Reading that book that I just mentioned will help you, obviously. No More Mr. Nice Guy is a good place to start as well, because setting proper boundaries as a man is fucking important. And when you are moving through life, there are going to be people that just don't like you, and that's fine. You want to be around people who treat you as a peer, who treat you with respect, who listen to you, who listen to your ideas, who like you, right? Because most people on this planet, they're not going to be like that. You got to find, it's hard to find. Most women aren't going to like you either. If you go out and talk to like 1,000 women, you know, maybe like, I don't know, depending on how good your game is and so on, maybe 100 will entertain that idea, right? Because a lot of girls are going to be either taken or not interested in you. Now, I know there's pickup artists and shit like that that are, you know, really good at picking up women and shit like that. But at the end of the day, for normal guys who you know, just walk down the street, who don't know this kind of stuff, you know, if you talk to 1,000 women, you know, maybe 100 girls will be relatively interested in you, right? And then there'll be a small percentage of those that will be really interested in you, okay? It's a numbers game. I do the same thing with YouTube. I do the same thing with my new business venture. I realize that the 80-20 rule, the 90-10 rule, applies to almost everything. At the end of the day, fellas, it's not worth it, okay? You want to go out with a woman who is submissive, okay? Who's about you, who wants you to lead. A lot of girls out here are getting the message that, you know, be more powerful and do all that. But men, true men who, you know, go out there and seek excellence and, you know, chase it, and they want to really make something of themselves and make a, as Rich Cooper does say, a dent in the universe. They're not going to go out with an alpha female who is challenging them all the fucking time. It's a waste of energy. See, you get beat up in the marketplace, energetically, so to speak, right? And then you come home and you got to deal with a woman who treats you like crap, or you know, isn't trying to support. Right? Just leeching or living off of you. So fellas, I really want you just to spend your time around people who dig you, and really guard your energy and guard your time, right? Time's the one thing you can't get back. It's a cliche thing to say these days, but it's fucking true. You can't get time back. So you might as well spend it with somebody who really, really digs you. And it's better to be, personally speaking, I'd rather be alone than to deal with a disrespectful woman any day of the week. Okay? It's okay to be alone. And like I said earlier, when you find somebody who's really into you, who's got that genuine burning desire, who digs you, who's into your mission, and they trust you, okay, they are going to want to fuck the shit out of you. And they will do everything they can to please you. And yeah, and here's another thing that some of my students have trouble grasping. Some of the girls that are that submissive and that genuine burning desire, they're not going to be 10s. They're just not. They're not going to be 10s, right? And that's the way that it is. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that I don't care about that. I'd rather go home to I'm still with my woman, right? I'm still with my woman, and she's good. She's a good woman. So I have no complaints there. But if I was single, I would rather go home to a woman who's, you know, a 7, who is submissive, who, you know, than a 10. That's just me. Okay? That's just me. Maybe that's not for you, but check how you feel. How happy are you? Okay? What do you know, is that something you even check or measure? So it's really important, guys. And that's just my big brother advice. Take it or leave it. Coaching's down below if you guys need help with anything. And if you guys have any questions, let me know.